or so lah. So today, I guess we can discuss about what's really hot in the market. So I think yesterday was about CPI, and then the other things obviously is Valentine's, and the other thing, I think the other big thing on crypto space yesterday was about the Blue.io, which is the next generation so-called direct competitors of OpenSea's Blur.io.
So what's up? Yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Yeah, why not, right? So I think yesterday was a bit subtle, right? Yesterday we got Valentine's obviously, and then CPI, and then the other thing is the Blue.io. I think the direct competitor of OpenSea. They just launched their tokens, so that will be, I think, pretty interesting. So I mean, have you guys used OpenSea before?
No, tell us more about it.
Seriously, you don't know about OpenSea. Okay, so basically OpenSea is the Binance on crypto assets itself. So OpenSea is like the go-to places for NFT. And
okay, yeah.
Yes. And then just like OpenSea is like Binance, then Blur is like I don't know, Coinbase or other competitors. So they are more like competing with each other. And then one pretty interesting thing is I think OpenSea's they launched in 2021, and Blur I think launched last like Q3 or Q4 last year. So what Blur did is a bit like a vampire attack. So basically, OpenSea will take a fees, but Blur doesn't. Wherever that attract of like use NFT sellers or marketers, if they want to sell their NFT, they will prefer a zero fees marketplace instead of like a fee charge marketplace. So I think that's their positions.
Yeah, but so what's the big thing about this thing, right? They have been around for quite some time already. Right?
Yeah, correct. So I think as in, if you're familiar with OpenSea, that they are like the number one, and then they are also reputable. But one thing they are not really doing well is OpenSea was previously supported by a lot of community, but at the end of the day, OpenSea didn't launch their tokens, and then the fees didn't really go back to the community. But Blur saw that as an opportunity, so they set up a zero fees NFT exchange, and then they provide a faster, or I would say they support like quite a number of chain or Lao2, and then they also launch their tokens back to their contributors and community. So it will be quite interesting lah in this case. So Blur, I think they just launched their tokens, or rather say to airdrop to those their members. And I mean Blur, I think the airdrop time was somewhat midnight to night or last night, I forgot already. Then you can see OKX, Hobby, or some other mainstream exchanges, they just launched Blur. And then I heard some news from OKX saying that their customers got issues of depositing their Blur tokens.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I think
but it's resolved, I suppose.
Yeah, resolved already, obviously, right? And so what we want to, I think Blur token is definitely one of the big catch on NFT plays. So yeah, I'm just wondering, and you guys, I mean, this is definitely one big thing I think we should dive into it lah. And then I think as MarginX, we definitely looking at this asset as a potential asset we want to list.
Yeah, I think NFT space is a very interesting space, right? And next we want to list at the moment we only got Bitcoin and ETH and FX, and obviously I think to make that space more interesting, we want to list a lot more coins for the community, which they coins or tokens that are relevant to them, to the community. And so Blur NFT, not just Blur NFT lah. I feel like there are have plans where we want to launch a lot more tokens for the community to play with and to partake in all these things. But my question is as much as we support different kinds of products on the blockchain space like NFTs and things like that, but what are your thoughts about NFT generally as a future? I mean, like as with all things in blockchain, half of the people will say that NFT, the hype is over. Half of the community will say that NFT is the future. Sometimes, because I'm not an avid NFT collector, so I don't know about this. But what are your thoughts on this NFT? Do you think it really has a future? I mean, I can see NFT as probably as sort of like a digital certificate, but beyond that, personally for me, I I don't know what's the big use case for it. Like,
Oh, okay. I think like okay. As a share certificates or a proof of something or proof of ownership, I think it's something somewhat in a very subtle and has a big imagination places already. To be honest. So obviously, like if you own something, then how can I prove I own it? Then you can use NFT as a proof of ownership. That's one thing, and then there are some contracts as well, like a buy sell contracts, like a tenancy agreement. All these things can be an NFT as well. So I mean, I obviously the applications, the real applications, real life applications hasn't been developed yet, but I mean, can see right now from gaming, from metaverse, on even on what we call a smart contract thingy. They're using NFT as the the proof of ownership or even the proof of agreements. So these are I mean the futures, I would say.
Yeah,
So
I
so
agree with
I
you
mean,
that
as in
yeah,
Blur will.
yeah, I think I agree with you. Like NFT as a user for the digital identity, right? It's kind of a for me, like NFT is kind of an art or digital kind of I think at least personally for me maybe it doesn't work. I guess it works for a lot of people out there. But I guess in MarginX, our main purpose is that whether it works or not work, I mean, we want to provide a space for people to trade and to think to exchange their views on the value of a space like Blur NFT, right?
Yeah. So I mean, Blur is basically a aggregated marketplace. I mean, NFT marketplace. So obviously, I mean, we want to see competitions in the markets. We don't want OpenSeas to take all the market shares, right? So
Correct.
and we do see NFT has Blur has its own very unique value propositions. And I think after launching the tokens, there are a few things. I think firstly is obviously OpenSeas will feel the threats, right? So we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe overseas will launch their own tokens, in the near future. Who knows, right? And then secondly is the because Blur they do it in a zero fees way. So that might attract some of the NFT holders to plug into it. Then obviously MarginX also have our own NFT as a membership. So
Correct.
we want to see, if in the future we was on that, then let the Blur NFT accepts MarginX NFT, then how can we collaborate together. But one thing is I mean this market, a new NFT marketplace, we will definitely be a unique voice, I mean, out of the world. Yeah.
Hey, even if I be a bit of a devil's advocate, right?
Yep.
Poke you a bit. It's like I think there's advantage of people like Blur NFT issuing their own tokens versus OpenSea, which I don't know why in their initial idea was not to issue token, but I guess there are benefits to issuing your own token towards not issuing, right? Because I think on one hand, we believe that if you issue your own token, there's benefits in instead you reward back the community. You encourage participation from community and owners of tokens. But at the same time, I think there's a risk of this situation where it's being manipulated and where after what happens to FTX and FTT, right? Everyone's very worried that when people issue their own token, there might be a situation like what that happens, right? So I guess it's and I think blockchain, it's such a big, it's fast growing space that we don't even know which model is the best model yet. We are still trying to find out which model is the best. And I think during this time when a lot of people say it's the winter lah, it's a very good time for us to develop and a lot of all these new things that's coming up. I digress a bit, but my point is I feel that in the blockchain space, we're still trying to figure out which model is the better one, right? Which one is actually the most beneficial for the community. So my question to you is like, what do you think? Like issuing token, it's sort of like a positive point because the community is excited by it, but at the same time, shouldn't they be worried? Given what has happened to the crypto space in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I mean that was I think a good question. So I mean, to be honest, I don't have answers for your questions, to be honest. So my hunch is tokens and issuing of tokens is like sort of a contributions of to the community, like to let them know you are part of the space or the community. And at one point, if tokens been traded, then there's a chance of being meted. And when manipulations, will kill the markets and even kill the whole community. I mean, there's it swings both ways, to be honest. But is the tokens is necessary for the governance? I personally don't think I don't buy that story, to be honest. So it's more like the contributors should have the say of, or the user should have the say of the platform itself, not really the token holders. So we can see from the recent the Uniswap thingy. I believe some of you guys heard about. So some funds who holds a lot of uni tokens, they just voted no for something. Then I mean, obviously they are not the real users or not the core contributors, but it just somehow the protocol which everyone likes been controlled by some conglomerate or some funds or some very rich guy. So this is something we want to avoid. Obviously, I guess but I like blockchain space back in 2016, 2015. The investors or even the people in this space, they become more matured. So I mean, I really didn't go through. I mean, to be honest, I didn't go through the Blur their tokenomics very clearly and very deeply, but I believe there are some mechanics in there to prevent this kind of issues happening.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm just wondering that any of our audience there have something to talk about. If you guys want to talk of some opinion, or you want to share some opinions, I mean, like any of the people out there, feel free to just request to speak and just remind them lah.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, so Danny, go on.
No, please. I mean, anyone who have any questions, because this is, I mean, we just decided this half an hour ago, saying that, hey, this is something quite interesting. Then how about we open a place, I mean, to Twitter space to discuss about it. Then I mean, we will do this oftenly, I would say.
I think it's very good. Yeah. Digress a bit. I saw there's I don't know whether that guy is. I saw someone from Blur. I don't know whether is it really from Blur or just the name is Blur. But actually, I'm curious also if you know the answer. Then why is it called Blur? Why choose such a name? A bit out of the blue, but yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this I mean, okay, I know this project or this protocol because of Paradigm. So they were backed by the one of the famous VCs called Paradigm.
Yeah.
And then
So but why the name Blur? But why the name Blur? Like, how did they choose the name? Like,
I think it's pretty eye catchy. One shot you remember this marketplace really, right?
I guess it's a bit cute lah, like Blur NFT like that. But like Blur, when so it's not exactly a very, I don't know. Maybe it sounds fun lah, right? But but I think it's not exactly a positive kind of a word, right? You call yourself like where do you want to go and trade your NFT? Let's go Blur.
Blur, right? But it's the Blur has own advantage, right? Technically faster, and they integrate it with a lot of like tools, like I say, and the fees are almost zero, I would say. Yeah.
It's quite good lah. It's quite good. I'm actually looking at it as well. And
you should definitely. I mean, this is the Degen coolest marketplace right now.
I see.
So if the audience, if anyone wants to speak, just request and let us know. Yeah. I think if there's no one, I think we can end it here. Unless you guys have any questions.
No, I'm good. Yeah. And then if in the future you got any more interesting topics, just ping us lah. We'll just talk about this. But I think today, I think we talk about Blur today is very aptly done, because I think it's one of the hottest topic now.
Sure. I mean, to do it like more often. I mean, to share, to let our communities knows about us and what is the. I mean, we will discuss on and off. We will discuss something like the hottest topic, or something we need to dive in. Then I think tomorrow we will launch our ePosh tool, the Maker liquidity pool, and then the AI trading tool as well. So so if you, I mean, let's figure out a time. I mean, tomorrow I think 12 o'clock Singapore time. So we will launch the pool. So I think after the launch, we will probably have another Twitter space like this one today, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes kind.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
All right. Thank you,
All right,
everyone.
then. Thanks, Danny. Talk to you later.
Thank
Bye.
you, Shin. Thank you, everyone. Bye.